If I do the same workout every week, but I get faster and faster the first 60, then 50, then 45, then 30 minutes, do I get more gains? Or do I just turn it into cardio and end up stalling? Gains or progress come from a few different things. Weekly volume, how many hard sets are you really putting in per muscle group? Effort, how close are you pushing to failure? How much intensity are you putting into it? Load selection, rest time. It's not just about the timestamp on your workout. The length of your sessions don't directly dictate the amount of progress that you're going to get. A few different variables can change the length of a session. Usually how long you rest for can directly impact it, but also your exercise choices. Say you were going to want to cut down on the length of your actual workouts. What's a few different things that we can cut down on? Well, as mentioned before, one of the variables that can change the length of your workouts is how much rest time you're using. So say that you're resting for 2 minutes, maybe after doing some rows or something like that, maybe some squats. If you cut that down to a minute and you do that for 3 sets, you're saving an extra 3 minutes there. If you did that for a lot of your other exercises and you cut them down, you're going to end up saving a good chunk of time. And that's definitely a route that you can go down, especially if you are short on time and you need to get a session done. But doing that too often can sometimes get in the way of your progress. There's been a few studies that have shown that if you really want to get the most out of your muscles, out of your workout, a good rest time for heavy compound movements is usually around that 2 to 3 minute mark. You want to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to rest and recover so you can really go hard and train well in your next set. Let's say that you get done doing some squats. You've just hammered out 10 reps, your heart's going crazy, you're tired a little bit, your back might be a little bit fatigued as well from just pumping out all those reps. Now you're sitting down. You might have in the past rested for the 2 to 3 minutes. By the time you're done with that, your heart rate, it's gone down again. Your back's feeling good, it's not going to limit how many reps you can get done, you're ready to go. But if you cut that down to 1 minute, your heart still might be going really fast. And your back still might be a little bit fatigued and you might end up actually not getting, say those 10 reps, you might only get to 8 reps. Your legs felt fine though, but it was just mainly your back or your heart, your cardio, it stops you from getting there. That's not really what we're looking for when we want to try and push ourselves for progress, because you didn't really push the muscles that you were trying to work, your legs, to the point where they needed to get stronger, and that's when you start driving that progress. Instead, you just pushed your cardio further and also your lower back. Racing through your program, chucking down those rest times, it's not going to help you get more results. And a lot of the cases, if you're cutting it too much down, it's just going to reduce the quality and total work that you're getting done. And as mentioned before, if you're cutting down on that rest time, especially if you're new to the gym or new to exercise, your heart rate might be elevated. So if you're not giving yourself enough time to recover from having your heart rate elevated, you're going to just constantly be pushing yourself. You might just be getting to the point where your heart's actually the thing that's stopping you. You're running out of breath. It's stopping you from getting the work done. That's when you're sort of looking at conditioning training more than strength training. Obviously, if your goal is directed more towards wanting to be better conditioned, wanting to be better with cardio and all that, then obviously that's a pretty good thing to go for. But we're talking about in the sense of wanting to progress in terms of developing more muscle and looking at getting better strength. So we know that maybe cutting down your rest is not the best thing to strive for. Obviously cutting it down maybe 30 seconds and testing that out for a few weeks and seeing if that can hold up, that might work well. But if you're cutting it down too much, saying from 3 minutes to 1 minute, that's going to take a really big hit on your workout. So what's another way that we can help shorten our work? Well, if we wanted to shorten our workout even more, we could take out some of the exercises. But then what you're looking at, taking out those exercises, that's when we want to look at our weekly volume. Say now, currently in your program, you're getting 12 really good hard sets done. Usually around the area of 10 to 20 hard working sets can be great for striving for progress. So say that you're getting 12, you're getting a nice number, but then you want to cut down on how long your workouts are, so you take out some exercises. Say we're training our chest, 12 good sets on our chest. But you take out maybe push-ups at the end because you want to save on the time. You want to get rid of those 5 minutes that it takes maybe to go do some push-ups or something like that. Now you're cutting that down from 12 to 9. And you might even cut that down further to maybe 8 or 7. And then that's when we're not really pushing ourselves, getting enough hard total volume in for the week. So what is the optimal workout length? Well, there's no real magic number. And I know that's an annoying thing to say, but it's just a constant occurrence in terms of the world of exercise, working out. There's not always a guaranteed this is always the best thing for you. There's multiple different variables that come into effect. But one good indicator is just taking the time, finding that sweet spot where it's the time that it takes you to get some really good hard sets in, but it doesn't take you an exorbitant amount of time. Exorbitant. Yes, you get the idea, along a big amount of time. You're able to get those hard sets done with an appropriate amount of rest and execute them well. One also little thing to touch on is that we've talked about shortening your workouts and how that might affect your progress. And then that might lead you to think that surely if I make the workouts really long, that can give me more progress. But if you're in there for 3.5 hours, 4 hours, there's a good chance that you're not really pushing yourself to the point. Usually around the 1 to 2 hour mark of a workout where you're really pushing yourself. By the end of those 2 hours, you're dead. If you really push yourself for the 1 hour, you're absolutely cooked and you can't keep going. So there is a point of a too long workout, being that around, if you go past 3 hours, then you should look at your programming and see what you might be taking too long on. I don't want this video to be taken as saying that if you only can get a 10-minute or 20-minute workout in, you're actually just not doing anything. The ultimate goal is getting some work done. If you only have 10 minutes or 20 minutes to get a workout in, perfect. Just prioritize compound lifts so you can get the most bang for your buck. Prioritize the exercises that you really want to get done. If you've only got those 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that's perfectly fine. Doing something is better than nothing. But if you have 45 minutes, an hour to give, I think it would be better give that hour, get the work done, really push yourself hard. Some other little techniques that we can look at for shortening workouts if you really need to get them down is supersets. Supersets can be a great way of combining 2 exercises together. So you're using 1 rest period for 2 exercises rather than doing 1 exercise for 3 sets, resting every single time, then going to another exercise, resting for 3 sets every single time. Great way to lay out supersets can be using opposing muscle groups. So say that you're training your chest, you go do bench press, but then instead of just resting for that, go and do a bench press again, resting for that, go and do a bench press again, you might go do bench press and then instantly go jump into some rows. That way you're using your chest muscles for the bench press, but then they're resting while you're using your back muscles for the row. Then at the end of those rows, you take a rest and you go back to bench. That can be a great way to help just cut down on time. Maybe for compound movements, doing supersets, if it is a cardio factor, might not be the best move, but I find for doing isolation movements, I pretty much always superset or triset them. Is shortening your rest time so you do a 30-minute workout instead of a 1-hour workout going to get you the same results? Is removing exercises so you also get that shorter time going to get you the same results? Ultimately, if you're cutting away too much, you're gonna have hindered results. But I just hope this video is able to help you understand just what might affect your workout lengths, things that if you take away too much from might hinder your progress then, but also ways that we can look at maybe effectively stacking our workout with some supersets, doing compound movements a bit more, just so we can use our time a bit more efficiently. If you did enjoy this video and you found it helpful and you want some more tips to help you thrive, look down in the description. There is a link to a list where you'll get 33 tips over 33 days that will change your life in 33 ways. Thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope it was able to help you, and I'll catch you all in the next one.